What is up, everyone? My name is Chase Crenshaw,
Gary Bourgeois.
and this is the Chase and Gary Show. Last time we talked about ourselves, and if you were blessed to hear that, I'm sure you enjoyed it and really got a lot out of that. But today we're actually going to get to work. We are talking insurance with Brittany Upton and how more than ever it is impacting the home buying experience. So make sure to stay tuned, like the video, click and subscribe to stay in the know on mortgages, the market, and how to navigate the amazing world of real estate.
What up, what up? This is the Chase and Gary Show. Talking mortgages, money, and what to know. People ask about race all the time. So listen up, everybody, it's race budget time. We're shopping for our clients every single day. Discussing loan options and what to pay. If you want to learn more, you gotta watch to know. Listen up, everybody, it's the Chase and Gary Show.
All right, everyone, welcome and thanks for watching. And hello to our guest, Brittany Upton of Upton Insurance.
How's it going, Miss
Brittany
Brittany?
is, hello. Brittany is an insurance broker with over a decade's experience in helping her clients navigate their insurance needs. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
You
I
are
really appreciate y'all having me on.
absolutely, you're welcome, and we are happy to have you on. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey before and into real estate, and kind of what you do as a broker.
Yeah. My husband and I own Upton Insurance Agency, and like you had said, I have over a decade's experience of insurance. My husband Seth, who is not on the video with me today, but he's a big part of our business as well. He comes from the mortgage industry, like you guys. So together with our knowledge, we have a pretty extensive background in the home buying process. So we really built our business on working specifically with home buyers. So I have an extensive background with a couple of captive insurance carriers, coaching, selling insurance, managing agencies, whatever there is to do, I've done it. So in 2023, right after we had our first son, Seth and I decided to take the leap and open our own agency and go fully independent. So we're independent brokers, which means we don't represent any one company. We can actually shop your insurance with multiple companies. So we
Hold,
ultimately
hold, hold.
decided
So you had a kid and then you opened your own business?
2 weeks after we had
Okay.
him.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to
Crazy.
highlight that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, 2 weeks
Okay.
after we had him, and then we just had our second son 7 weeks ago. So we're full speed ahead. I was in the hospital bed with my laptop,
Yeah.
writing
Yeah,
policies, so you make it happen. Got to
you're
take
hard
care of it.
charging, huh?
Family is everything. You make it happen.
Absolutely.
I think you might, hopefully my microphone's good enough, but you might hear mine running around the house. So,
It's all good.
yeah.
All
Good.
good.
Yeah, I've known Chase, or I've known Seth for what I guess going on 4 or 5 years now. I want to say that he and I started in the mortgage industry together. If he wasn't already there, somehow we ended up on the same team working together, and that's how I met
Right,
Seth. And then you and I, we didn't meet until years later after he had
right.
already left the mortgage industry and went into the insurance business. And so it's been a blessing to be able to keep that friendship going and that relationship.
It's a small
Absolutely.
world. And
Yeah.
I met Seth in the lighting and electrical. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah, before we were both mortgage loan officers.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
wow.
I'm pretty sure Seth introduced y'all, right?
he
Yeah, he
did.
did.
Yes. Seth is
Yep.
the
That's
reason
how
I
we
met
got connected.
Gary.
Yep.
So full circle here in
All
episode two,
working.
you know everything, everybody. So there
We're
That's
all
it.
connected.
That's how we do it.
So,
Awesome.
anyways, well, yeah. Just real talk. We wanted to get into some insurance discussions on the current climate. So, we wanted to get your insight on the current market and what buyers and sellers and current homeowners are needing to know to save the most money or just to get the best premium and best policy coverage for themselves, their home, and their assets.
From your perspective, with the rising cost of insurance these days, how do you think that's affecting the home buying process?
Yeah. So obviously we all know that, you know, 4 or 5 years ago, if you bought a $450,000 house, it costs less than if you buy a $450,000 house now. So I
Right.
think really you're seeing people have to be more prepared financially, right? So years ago, when your insurance was $1,200 a year, that's $100 a month. That's really not a hard pill to swallow for most people who are purchasing a house. Now we're looking at, the average premium in Texas is anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. That's a chunk of change for people. So people really need to be well qualified, right? They really need to make sure that they have money set aside just for that insurance if anything were to happen. Now more than ever, it's so important to have a good agent that you're working with, especially when you're purchasing a home. It can really, I mean, as y'all know, it can make or break a deal. We've seen it happen many, many times where we get to the end of it and the insurance is the deal breaker. You've
Yeah.
got some mortgage companies out there. We won't name them, but 1-800 mortgage company that you call, or mortgagecompany.com, where they get them qualified for insurance and they put in there that's going to be $1,200 a year and they're barely qualifying at that. And then they get
Yeah.
quotes and it's coming in at $5,000 a year. Now they've wasted all that time searching for a house. They've wasted money, time, the realtor's wasted time, the loan officer's wasted time, and now they can't even qualify for the house. So
Right.
making sure you have someone who knows what they're doing to navigate the insurance world right now, it's imperative.
And just kind of a follow-up on that, I mean, kind of go off what you're saying. A lot of times we see that the clients may have a debt to income ratio problem. They may be hovering that bubble where if they go too high, they're not qualified, but we got to stay below a certain point. Are you guys seeing that as well? And what can y'all, are y'all able to help them keep their premiums down low enough to keep them qualified?
Sometimes, at the end of the, we're definitely seeing it. At the end of the day, sometimes the pricing with insurance, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
There are certain things that you can do to lower the price, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, there's been instances where as long as the client kind of is willing to take on more risk, usually,
Right.
then we can get the premium down and help them qualify. But you really, again, you have to work with an agent who has your best interest at heart, because you got to know what you're getting into if you're getting that lower premium, because the lower premium does not come without a much larger price.
Absolutely. I
Exactly.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just know what you're getting into with those
Yep.
and make sure you are, hitting up your insurance agent. And that kind of leads me into this question. So, um, I've heard a lot about the Clue reports as buyers are out on the market shopping homes before they get a contract. Can you give us a brief breakdown on what a Clue report is and how those are helping?
Yeah, for sure. So, Clue report, that's just a comprehensive loss report that insurance companies use to assess risk on the property. They look at the property, they're looking at the home buyer as well. And, used to, we would just say, oh, let's look at the Clue report, and we wouldn't really put as much emphasis on the whole quote process. But now more than ever, it's so important to get a quote on the property that you're purchasing or
Mhm.
that you go under contract on, um, earlier rather than later. I know that nobody likes to shop for insurance. It's just not the most exciting thing, right? But it can really save you a lot of headache if you do it on the front end before you do the appraisal, before you do the inspection, for many, many reasons. So, like I said, insurance companies are looking at the claims history on not only that person, but a lot of them look at it on the home itself, and that's going to be taken into consideration when used to qualify for the home policy. So, there was an instance where I was working with a lady. She was a single mom purchasing a home, and it was a great deal, cute little house, right? We go to run the quote, and there's been like 2 water losses on the house. She had a hail claim the year before. The
Mhm.
insurance company that was really coming out with a great premium for her, she didn't qualify for.
Mm.
So that took it from her being able to get insurance at $2,300 a year to now her premium's like, I think it was like 48
Oh my
ish,
gosh.
Oh, wow.
Double.
which is a big
Double.
deal.
Yeah.
So you think of it from a client's perspective. Do you want to know that earlier in the deal, or do you want to wait till the end of the deal and then you're like, holy crap, like that's
Yeah.
way more than I was expecting, right? Another instance, I had a lady that was purchasing it's a $300,000 home. We run the quote up front. and there was a $200,000 water loss the year prior, right before they remodeled the house. So she was
Oh,
able to
wow.
go into that inspection process with a very clear view of what we need to be looking for, right? Because sometimes it's when you're purchasing a house, it's an emotional decision. So sometimes people will overlook things that are found in an inspection. But she was able to go into that knowing, like, hey, they put probably $200,000 worth of repairs into this house. Let's make sure it was done right so that
Correct.
it
Yeah.
doesn't cause a headache later. So there's many, many reasons to go ahead and get that quote early instead of waiting until the end of the home buying process.
Well, a lot of the stuff that you're mentioning is warranted as it's completed, so that, if you know that up front and the maybe the listing agent, was busy and didn't get a chance to disclose everything, or you didn't get a chance to ask them a question about a house, and you find out that okay, they've had a ton of beams installed, piers installed, and a bunch of foundation work's been done. And okay, is that transferable? Is that warranty? So you're going to find all that out from the clue report.
Yeah,
Correct.
for sure. Well, you'll see that something was paid out on the insurance, and sometimes you'll see like, we've seen it to where there was insurance payouts and the work was actually never done. They just put a
Yeah.
Band-Aid
Oh,
over it,
yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
it's just important. All the
The
pieces of the
contractor's
home buying
gone.
process work together, right? It's
Yep.
important to communicate that to the inspector. So he's looking to make sure that it was fixed correctly. Or again, you're making the biggest purchase of your life. The last thing you need is to close on your house and you walk into your bathroom and there's water backing up everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because of something that wasn't fixed correctly.
That actually happened. I had a client just several months ago, maybe 6 months ago. They did the appraisal, did the inspection, everything came back good. But the appraisal came back and said, "Hey, we need this fixed, this water line fixed in the bedroom, bathroom where it was."
Yeah.
And so the contractor came out, supposedly fixed it. The appraiser went back out, everything looked good. So he blessed off on it. She was in the house, man, probably not even a
2 weeks.
week,
Yeah.
and her daughter woke up and there was like 3 inches of water in the
Oh.
house.
I know who
And
you're talking about. That's our client too.
yeah, and they're still going through that
I know.
situation. They're still battling that. And I was
Yep.
like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, it
Yep.
happens more often than you think,
It does. It does, especially, around here where people are taking these older homes and doing these quick
Right.
flips. It's shoddy work, so a lot of times it's done in a month. They remodeled the whole house in a month and the quality is just not there. So it can definitely cause issues. So look at that claims history
Yeah,
so you can know
exactly.
what to expect.
Yeah, don't just take the has this been repaired and okay, yes, it has. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Right.
You gotta say
Yeah.
by who is, where's the report? I want to see the
Right.
work. There's more to it. So,
Absolutely.
all right. Well, I think we've got to wrap up pretty quick, but on the final question, I know this is a fun topic of discussion right now is how expensive insurance is, and it's not always the most important to get the cheapest insurance. But can you give us some tips for our clients and potential homeowners out there, or even current homeowners, on how to save some money on insurance?
Yeah. So I'd say that the most important thing is don't get stuck with any one company. I talk to clients all the time who are very loyal to certain companies, and y'all would probably even know what companies those are, especially you, Gary, being a veteran. Very loyal, right? And I
Right.
get it, right? If a company's taking care of you and you have good rates, like that's great, stay put. But you really need to be shopping your insurance, yearly. And that's again why it's so important to work with a broker who can shop it for you every renewal. So I'd say the number one thing, make sure you're looking at rates every year, right? Because you don't know that your $6,000 rate is expensive if you're not shopping it, right? We could get you a $3,000 rate. You never know.
Yep.
Another way is to self-insure. And when I say self-insure, we've seen deductibles increase. So now the minimum wind and hail deductible that you'll see now is typically 2%, right? Whereas it
Mhm.
used to be 1%. And then way back in the day, before I was even in insurance, you could get $1,000 deductibles. So we've seen them steadily increase over the years. That 2%, that's a lot. That's a lot for people. If you've got a $500,000 home
Yeah.
and your wind and hail deductible is $10,000, that's a hard pill for some people to swallow. So make sure, again, know what you're getting into, make sure that you can actually afford it. But we have some clients who choose to even self-insure even more, but not without knowing what they're getting into. There's always going to be a cost to lowering your insurance. So people want to save, 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 and they want the cheapest insurance, but a lot of times they don't have an agent that explains to them, hey, there's a cost to you saving. So yeah, you're saving $500 a month, a year, but do you realize that if you were to have a claim, that $500 that you saved is going to end up costing you thousands in the end. So it's a balancing act,
Yeah,
right? It's
absolutely.
you've got to really work with the client and have a very personalized experience with them, because insurance is not a one size fits all. I have some clients, higher net worth, they basically just have insurance for catastrophic things, right? So if their house was a total loss, they want to make sure that they're covered. They're not the ones that are going to go make the claims, if a pipe burst or something like that. But that's not everybody. You have to have an agent who's going to make sure to cater to your needs and have the conversations that need to be had around what you're willing to risk versus, the insurance company.
All right. Well, thank you, Brittany, and we
Appreciate
we
you, Brittany. Thanks
appreciate
for
your
coming on.
time. Yep, she's got a baby to take care of, so go do your thing, Mama.
Right. Thank
Yeah, have a
y'all.
good week. Thank
Okay,
y'all.
bye.
Bye. Bye. All right. Well, it sounds like now more than ever, you need to get with your insurance broker and ensure that you know them better than the back of your hand. Because if you don't, it sounds like it's going to cost you a lot of money in the long run.
Absolutely. We just cannot emphasize it enough. Always pick up the phone, call your broker, call your mortgage broker. Just have a plan in place. Make sure you know the risks. Make sure you know the pricing. And get a plan in place. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of the Chase and Gary Show. Please remember to like the video, click and subscribe below to stay in the know on mortgages, the market, and how to navigate the amazing world of real estate. See you on the next episode where we'll be discussing client success stories.
Thank you.